How's it going, everyone? The PlayStation Store is running its summer sale right now, and I'm here to look at some of the great deals that are available. Now, great is a subjective term, and with this sale and the deals I'm actually going to cover in this video, I would be a little bit cautious to pick any of these games up just because we are going with no budget restrictions, so it's not like under $20, under $10, anything like that. These are more expensive, and what I always recommend, and I have to reiterate this when we do a video like this, if you are going to buy any game that's above a $20 price point, it should be a game that you are looking to play in the immediate future, because if you're just gonna buy a game at that price point and it's gonna chill in your backlog for months and months, guess what? There's a good chance it's just gonna get cheaper, because the floor, the actual lowest price point for a game like that, it can get lower. For a game that's already at $5 to $10 on sale, it can't get much lower than that. With a game like Marvel's Spider-Man 2, which we're gonna mention, the floor can get lower for a game like that, so just keep that in mind. With that being said, some of you guys want to spend some bread on high-quality titles and newer games, so I got you covered in this video. Right off the top, Marvel Spider-Man 2 is 29% off for $49.69. I feel like if you have a PlayStation 5, this is a game the majority of you guys checked out for a long while. It was the system seller for the PS5 after a relatively lackluster amount of system sellers, because for a while Sony had moved into doing a lot of cross-gen releases with Horizon Forbidden West, Gran Turismo 7, God of War Ragnarok. So when Spider-Man 2 came out as a true next-gen title, a lot of interest around the game. I thought it was really good. I know there are some people that aren't crazy about some of the narrative aspects to the game. I still really enjoyed Spider-Man 2 from start to finish. I thought it was a well-done game, and I know one of the biggest complaints about the game is the amount of content the game has. I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. Sometimes a 15 to 20 hour campaign is exactly what I like, and I feel like Spider-Man 2 offered that really well. For $49 and change, I don't think it's a bad pickup. Next up, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, $45.49. I've talked about this game ad nauseum. It's my front runner for Game of the Year right now, alongside FF7 Rebirth. I think the game is absolutely tremendous. Absolutely do play Yakuza Like a Dragon first, and I would think it would behoove you to play some of the Kiryu games, just have some familiarity with Kiryu's character, because this game does have a lot of fan service and pays homage to Kiryu as a character. He's one of the integral characters, but reflecting on Kiryu's journey up until this point was like one of the real engaging elements of the game. $45.49 is pricey, but with the level of content in a game like this, it'll be well worth it. It sucks that New Game Plus is locked behind the deluxe edition, but what can you do? That is just Sega being whack. Next up, we got Unicorn Overlord, 30% off for $42. This game came out earlier this year, just a couple weeks after the release of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It might have even been a week after FF7 Rebirth dropped, and I felt like, you know, JRPG fans, for a game like Unicorn Overlord, you're probably going to check it out regardless, but being released a week after the biggest JRPG of the year probably didn't benefit this game, although it seems like sales-wise it did okay. Really enjoyed the game, a game done by Vanillaware, the studio that brought you, great games like 13 Sentinels, Muramasa the Demon's Blade, Odin Sphere. They do a killer job with Unicorn Overlord, more of a tactics JRPG that still employs a lot of their typical elements, like a great art style, soundtrack. All of those elements are there. $42 is an okay price point for the game. It's just one of those titles that physically has been down to as low as like $25, $30, so this is one where you do pay a bit of a digital tax. It is what it is, but a worthwhile tactics JRPG. Next up, we got Assassin's Creed Mirage. It's 50% off for $24.99. A game that was initially to be an expansion to Assassin's Creed Valhalla got spun into a full game release a la Halo 3 ODST style. AC Mirage, I liked it as a game. I did think it was a smaller scale Assassin's Creed game, and that's what it is. I think initially, and I definitely thought that it was going to be this as well, that Assassin's Creed Mirage would be a callback to older Assassin's Creed titles, your AC2s, your AC3s. It's really not that. It's still very much a newer style Assassin's Creed, just at a smaller scale, which I did appreciate. My main issue with Assassin's Creed these days is I just feel like the games are way too bloated, and bloated with content that I don't think is worthwhile. Like, you could have a lot of content in a game, but can you leave the game with a consistent content stream? I don't know, and I feel like with Assassin's Creed, that has been getting diluted. We'll see how it turns out with AC Shadows. AC Mirage, I thought, was a quick-to-the-point, narrative-driven story that I ultimately enjoyed. Ending I wasn't crazy about, but for $24.99, not a bad price point. We have the Fallout 4 Game of the Year Edition and Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Special Edition bundle for $26.39. I am a absolute shill for Skyrim. It's one of my favorite games legitimately of all time. I just think it's tremendous. Fallout 4, I feel like, has gotten this perception shift a little bit where people are going back and playing it and enjoying it more. Amazon Prime series certainly helped out in terms of getting Fallout a little bit more popular. On PC, they just dropped Fallout London, which is being incredibly well received. Obviously, you can't get that on PlayStation. I wish they would figure out a way, like, work with Bethesda. Let's see if we can get that on PlayStation. I think that would be huge, but you know, that probably won't happen, especially with the nuances of you needing the older version of Fallout 4 for London to work. Nevertheless, $26.39 for this bundle I think is quite good. I would definitely give that a shout. Next up, we got Attack on Titan 2 Final Battle, 50% off for $29.99. I know Attack on Titan certainly has its reception as far as the anime's ending is concerned. You're talking to somebody that watched Attack on Titan as Season 1 was airing, and it was a huge part of the latter portion of my teenage years, and you know, I love the anime. This game does a really good job of taking the anime and adapting it into a video game, which with how Attack on Titan is done, adapting things like the maneuver gear I thought would be difficult, and they do as good of a job as I think possible with AOT. AOT 2, I should say. Final Battle extends the game quite a bit. The only thing that I would say is a drawback to this game is the fact that we don't have the awesome AOT soundtrack. I would even recommend, bro, just mute this game and, like, just play, like, a 1-hour compilation of the AOT songs, but, you know, that's up to you. I just think if you had the authentic AOT soundtrack, you're taking this game to the next level at that point. $30 for AOT 2, though. It's not going to get much cheaper than that, so I would say give that a look at that price point. Next up, we do have Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, 40% off for $23.99. This is a game that, you know, you guys know how I feel about Ubisoft these days. They are not my favorite publisher in the world, but when they drop a high-quality game, I'm gonna give them credit, and they dropped something high-quality with Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. I did think the $50 price point was a little bit hefty, but now that it's down to $24, I think it'll be a worthwhile pickup. It's a really well done action Metroidvania, decent story, visual style I think is fantastic, and the game for $24 I think is a good pickup. Not super lengthy, but again, that's not necessarily a bad thing with how much depth our backlog has these days. But 24 bucks for that is pretty good. There is going to be some story-based content for the game, so keep that in mind. But yeah, $24 for that, not a bad pickup either. Next up, we have Borderlands Collection Pandora's Box. Now, this is down to $37.49. This is if you have, like, nothing Borderlands related, because it gets you Borderlands 1, Borderlands 2, Borderlands the pre-sequel, Tales from Borderlands, Borderlands 3, and new Tales from the Borderlands, as well as all of the games and all of their add-on content in one giant bundle. It's a lot of content for your dollar. I imagine some of you guys already have some of the content in this game. That's why it's not going to be that relevant of a pickup for all you guys. And Sony doesn't do the thing where, like Steam, if you own portions of a bundle, they'll discount the bundle even further, and it'll be the best way for you from a value standpoint to pick up something like this. But, you know, it is what it is. A lot of content, a lot of hours of gameplay. I would say it's a really good buy if you do fit the criteria of not having any of the content, so just keep that in mind. Sonic Frontiers, 65% off for $21. Another game that I constantly go to bat for. I do think it has its shortcomings, but I think Sonic Frontiers is a really well done platformer. Awesome soundtrack here as well. Gameplay, they can certainly evolve on and add some more nuance and depth to it, but what they have in Frontiers is a real good foundational starting point for it to evolve into something better, and I think from that standpoint, it is quite exciting. $21 for Sonic Frontiers, solid pickup there, do give that a shout. Kingdom Hearts all-in-one package, $39.99. You got Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts 2, you have Kingdom Hearts Ray Chain of Memories, Birth by Sleep, Kingdom Hearts 2.8, which includes not Birth by Sleep, Dream Drop Distance, and the smaller Aqua experience, and Kingdom Hearts 3. The only thing you're missing is the Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind DLC. For $40, this is a bundle loaded with content. I personally recently went back and played through the entirety of Kingdom Hearts 1. That game has just aged awfully. I know it's an early 2000s game, it's to be expected, but I think that game is just not great to go back and play. I gotta go play through Kingdom Hearts 2 again. and I probably will play through Raid Chain of Memories. Just got mixed up with a bunch of other games recently, so kind of dropped Kingdom Hearts after Kingdom Hearts 1. Obviously, I played all of these games as they were coming out back in the day, but doing a replay through as they're available on Steam. But yeah, 1 just like kind of scarred me as far as how dated that game is. Kingdom Hearts 2, I played that game a few years ago, and I remember really still thinking like, wow, that game was fantastic. And obviously, some goated songs. Sanctuary is absolutely iconic, and I don't care if that's the most generic statement to make of all time, it is still tremendous. So yeah, $39.99 for that bundle, pretty good. Fate Samurai Remnant, 35% off for $39. I honestly believe that this was one of the more underrated games of 2023. I really enjoyed this game, and Fate as an IP been getting a little bit more steam recently with Fate Stay Night getting ported here, I believe later today on PC and Nintendo Switch, and then you have Fate the remake, Fate Extra Record, I believe it's called, that's coming out on all major platforms. Fate Samurai Remnant, more of a Musou-style Fate game. I don't have a lot of attachment towards Fate as an IP, but I really enjoyed this game. The Edo, Japan setting is always going to be something up my alley. Soundtrack, I thought it was great. Gameplay was very flashy, very enjoyable. $39, a pretty good price point on that. Ninja Gaiden Master Collection, $26.79. You got Ninja Gaiden Sigma, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, and Ninja Gaiden Sigma 3, Razor's Edge. 3 action games that are worthwhile to go through. The games do show their age, unfortunately, so do keep that in mind, but overall, still solid experiences all around. Janky cameras and, you know, just dated elements aside, worthwhile games there. And lastly, the Persona Collection is $45. This includes Persona 3 Portable, Persona 4 Golden, and Persona 5 Royal. P5R usually goes for like $25 to $30, so that alone covers a big portion of the bundle. P4 usually around 12 to 15, P3P around 12 to 15. Obviously, as far as P3 goes, most people are going to gravitate towards the remake, but you know, Portable has the female main character. There's still some cool things with Portable that makes it decent to go through. But yeah, pretty good bundle and a lot of hours of gameplay, all things considered. But that'll do it for me. Again, a lot of great deals available right now. These deals obviously a little bit more on the pricey side, so just keep in mind if you are going to pick anything up, try to play these games as soon as possible. So yeah, that'll do it for me. Your thoughts down below. As always, sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.